We just got a brand new update for the Poppy Playtime Chapter 4 ARG. It revealed a document from Elliot Ludwig to Harley Sawyer, as well as an interesting phone call. Both of these reveal a ton of lore, so let's jump into it. The ARG website had updated to only the red text from before, but if we click on the dream this time, a literal maze opens up. I'm sure the red text stuff is significant, but I think it's just Harley Sawyer crashing out. Within each page, you can click on a certain word that redirects you to another page. Eventually, you will find one with the word no, and if we click on it, we get a brand new letter from Elliot Ludwig to Harley Sawyer kicking Harley out of the Young Genius program. It reads, "Harley, let me begin this with a bit of bluntness, as I know you appreciate not dancing around what needs to be said. Despite how much it pains me, I've decided to remove you from the Young Genius program. I didn't want it to turn out this way, Harley. I don't want to hurt or discourage you. Yours is truly a brilliant mind, perhaps the most brilliant of anyone I've ever known. Every day I've seen your drive, your determination, and your incessant need for progress. Working with you, it's been one of the most rewarding experiences of my life. But even so, I have to be honest with myself and even you. Because despite all that I see in you, despite all that you could be, there's one glaring flaw in you I can no longer make myself ignore. Your lack of humility. Scientific progress should always be at the benefit of humanity. Progress made simply for the sake of progress often winds up hurting us more than it helps. I've tried to temper that in you as I once had to temper it in myself, but it became clear to me that such intrusions on my part only incited your anger. You finally lashed out at me one evening and stormed out of the lab. Don't be soft, Elliot, you said. Progress doesn't care for how anyone feels about it. I knew immediately that you were wrong, but I wasn't sure what to do, what could shift your thinking. In agonizing over it, I was reminded of what ultimately changed me, of what gave me the perspective I needed. It was seeing the world and people again bouncing back from rejection and hardship through connections. In thinking about those days, I'm reminded that rejection can sometimes be the best thing for us. It can remind us why our actions matter and who they're for. Ultimately, I believe it made me a better person, and I have to believe that doing this now will make you better too. So I challenge you to head for home, Harley, and look at the people around you, to try for a new perspective, to better know why progress matters. One day, I hope you'll understand, maybe even thank me, but even still, I'm sorry. Your friend, Elliot Ludwig." Okay, so like I said, this letter is about removing Harley Sawyer from the Young Genius program. Harley was incredibly smart, but had one glaring issue: his lack of humility. This means Harley was doing anything he could to progress in science without any care of how it was done. He would even lash out at Elliot, calling him soft. So this scared Elliot, resulting in his decision to remove Harley from the program in hopes to make him a better person. Hopefully he would realize why progress matters. Obviously this is super vague because we still don't know what the Young Genius program was even for. Considering the letter mentions the labs, Harley was likely doing something unethical with his experiments that Elliot didn't agree with. This also means the Young Genius program might have been a program to help Playtime Go progress in the name of science. They might have had them working on controlled experiments, unrelated to the toys, to see which students were the best at it. Something like that. The next thing found was an audio recording in the form of, unfortunately, a phone call. If you call this number, you will hear a conversation between Leith Pierre, Eddie Ritterman, Stella Graber, and Jared Lockhart. Because you can only hear this from a phone call, some of the parts are really hard to make out, but I'll add subtitles to make it easier. Here is what was said.
You know why we're all here. Let's skip the formalities. Eddie, the cleanup. What's the progress?
We'll be in the clear by the week's end. And it goes without saying that word of this doesn't breathe beyond the factory's walls. Not as anything concrete. I've made sure of that.
Has Lockhart come forward with any information? Even the number of bodies?
No. Nothing yet.
Those poor people. Did we really have to?
Did what was necessary, Miss Grader.
Of course.
The real question here is, when we find who's responsible, whose mistake this is, What do we do with them?
Oh, you mean after I've gotten my hands wrapped around their neck? I figured I'd just give it a nice squeeze until they stop squirming around. Sound like a plan?
Lane, think rationally here. We need to...
If you like having your job share it, beat it. We're busy.
It's me.
Oh, step on in, Mr. Lockhart. My constituents and I were just discussing some sensitive business.
Afraid I'm here to complicate that there.
Well, don't leave us in suspense. What half-wit, soon-to-be dead man made this mistake?
Dr. Harley Sawyer.
So an incident happened that took the lives of many innocent people inside the facility. Leith is talking to Stella and Eddie, going over what they should do about it. Leith was furious, but Eddie reassures him that not a single word about it is going to get out. Lockhart, the detective hired, had discovered it was none other than Dr. Harley Sawyer that caused the incident. What incident could this be? I think it was talking about the theater incident we saw from the previous ARG update. How there was a normal tour going on when all of a sudden something bad happened that resulted in many people dying. We even saw a few pictures from the incident. However, they are still being super vague about what went down, but we do know for sure that it was Harley Sawyer's fault. The big question is, was this incident on purpose or by accident? Well, that theory is for a different video, but I do think this was Harley acting maliciously. The last thing I want to mention is the G Fuel announcement, only because it's cleverly designed to look like a photo from the ARG. This has nothing to do with what's currently going on with the actual ARG. The devs even confirmed this. I only bring it up because I saw a lot of people confused by it. I'm not going to read the whole paper to you, but it's just teasing a G Fuel and Poppy Playtime collab. My guess is the flavor will be something with the red smoke or Huggy Wuggy's juices. Either way, it's kinda cool. I also want to say, Mob Entertainment, if you're listening, I would love to be a part of the Partners in Crime. I just want to put that out there, who knows what will happen. What do you guys make of all of this? I will say, I'm not a fan of the phone call stuff because the audio is always so bad and not everyone has access to a phone. But regardless, learning Harley got kicked out of the Young Genius program was huge. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and if you like horror game content like this, please consider subscribing. Also, I just made a Discord server, so if you want to chat with me, I recommend joining. And if you want to support the channel more, you can become a member. Don't forget to follow my Twitter at TerrifyT. Thanks for watching.